SCP-1147, Object Class Euclid. SCP-1147 is an unclassified species of plum tree whose seeds designated SCP-1147-1 can be planted in practically any substance. The resulting plant will adopt physical attributes from the utilized substance. SCP-1147 has proven capable of growing in solids, loose material, and liquids via hydroponics. SCP-1147 produces fruit designated SCP-1147-2. The original specimen of SCP-1147 was discovered growing from the steel base of a lamppost in Georgia, where it was believed to be an art installation by the local population. SCP-1147 Control. Substance: standard potting soil. Result: normal plum tree closely matching similar species. Seeds retain anomalous properties. Fruit: sweeter than expected. Notes: to eliminate as many variables as possible, only seeds from SCP-1147 Control should be used for new tests. Dr. Laurel. SCP-1147-ST. Substance: 20 centimeters cube of galvanized steel. 5 centimeter hole drilled into top, seed placed within, plugged with steel shavings. Result: trunk is high quality steel with a superior tensile strength. Leaves and flowers are thin, rigid zinc sheets and give off no scent. Fruit: inedible. D-182 cracked tooth in attempt. Subsequent tests denied for specimens that can be cut with a knife. Notes: this is the same material in which SCP-1147 was discovered. Original specimens successfully reproduced. Dr. Laurel. Mineral Test Log. SCP-1147-SA. Substance: sand collected from ocean beach. Result: trunk rough, brittle, and pale, crumbles easily to touch into individual grains of sand. Leaves and flowers are translucent and colorless. Scent resembles ocean breeze. Structure collapses when subjected to simulated rain. Fruit: inedible, falls apart in the hand. 1147-GL. Substance: seed pressed into recently forged 20 centimeter glass sphere as it cooled. Result: trunk is clear, flawless, faceted glass. Roots visible within sphere. Leaves act as prisms, casting a spectrum of light onto surfaces. Flowers are light pink glass with a subtle scent. Fruit: hollow colored glass. Inedible. Notes: personnel requests to give SCP-1147-GL as gifts denied. Dr. Laurel. SCP-1147-CO. Substance: planter fill with poured concrete. Seed pressed 5 centimeters under surface. Result: trunk matches color, texture, and strength of concrete. Leaves are pliable. When soaked in water and applied to a surface, they harden into a firm shell. Flowers share similar properties and have a chalky scent. Fruit: inedible. Notes: leaves could be useful to quickly repair damaged walls, floors. Further research recommended. Dr. Laurel. 1147-CH. Substance: charcoal ground into rough powder. Result: trunk dry and cracked, resembling a tree after a forest fire. Leaves black and crumble easily. Flowers smell like burnt wood. Recommend storing away from other specimens in case of accidental combustion. Fruit: withered and smoky flavored. Produces a small quantity of liquid which is easily ignited. Plant A Test Log. 1147-PA. Substance: shredded white printer paper mixed with water into pulp. Result: trunk composed of layered sheets of white paper that can be peeled away individually. Leaves are yellow with light blue veins. Flowers multicolored with the texture of tissue paper. Scent resembles a new book. Fruit: edible but largely flavorless. D-431 received minor cuts on lips, tongue. 1147-CT. Substance: processed compressed cotton stored in fabric sac. Result: bark is a brown felt with a cotton core. Giving into pressure, bark does not heal naturally, but can be stitched closed with no negative effects. Leaves are green felt with stitched veins. Flowers are pink cotton with the scent of freshly washed laundry. Fruit: resembles a plush plum. Edible, but just barely. 1147-WO. Substance: 20 centimeters cubed of stacked lumber, 5 centimeter hole drilled into top, seed placed within, plugged with wooden dowel. Result: trunk resembles normal plum tree but drier, branches easily cracked, leaves and flowers dry, colorless with a scent of sawdust. Fruit inedible, surface smooth and polished with a visible grain. 1147-MO. Substance: $2,183 US in mixed bills, shredded and mixed with water to form pulp. Result: similar structure to SCP-1147-PA, but the trunk has a pale green in color. Leaves bear a random mix of symbols and images commonly found on currency but do not resemble complete and passable bills. Flowers have the scent of fresh dollar bills. Fruit: a paper skin filled with dark ink. Sample of ink had a mild plum flavor. Notes: I told you it wouldn't work. I'm glad it didn't ship into the collection. Dr. Laurel. Liquid test log. 1147-WA. Substance: filtered water. Result: trunk is smooth, transparent, and cool to the touch, resembling quartz. Leaves thin, membranous, and waterproof. Flowers emit unscented mist. Fruit: a thin but durable skin containing approximately 100 milliliters of potable water with a slight plum flavor. Seed floating within. Notes: gardening staff finds samples incredibly refreshing. Dr. Laurel. 1147-PE. Substance: crude oil. Result: bark is black, giving, and perpetually greasy. Leaves share similar properties. Flowers produce a combustible vapor. Specimen to be isolated in a separate enclosure. Fruit: a thin but durable skin containing approximately 100 milliliters of refined petroleum, similar to diesel fuel. Seed floating within. 1147-LA. Substance: pasteurized cow's milk. Result: trunk is white and stronger than normal wood. Leaves and flowers are soft with a slightly sour scent. Fruit: creamy and solid with a skin and flavor reminiscent of brie cheese. Serves well with white wine. 1147-BE. Substance: brand beer. Result: specimen grew gnarled and erratic with a mottled bark pattern. Leaves sag, flowers produce a thick foam. Fruit: a tout skin containing approximately 100 milliliters of 6.5% ABV stout beer. Seed floating within. Notes: I would recommend disciplinary action against researcher Adams for liberally sampling SCP-1147-BE-2 before proper D-class testing, but I believe the hangover is punishment enough. Dr. Laurel. Miscellaneous test log. 1147-EL. Substance: assorted shredded electronics. Result: bark consists of green plastic. When peeled off, circuits present on interior. Leaves resemble solar cells. In construction are capable of collecting energy even after attached from specimen. Flowers utilize fiber optics to produce light displays. Fruit: inedible. Can be adapted in a solid-state storage device. Analysis of contained data ongoing. Notes: repeating the process with SCP-1147-EL-1 produces a more efficient and refined specimen. Dr. Laurel. 1147-LE. Substance: brand plastic building blocks. Result: entire tree is constructed of individual multicolored blocks, including leaves and flowers. Specimen can be broken apart and rebuilt into different configurations, and will resume growth with no negative effects. Fruit: each fruit is constructed exclusively out of violet bricks, with a seed cradled at the center. 1147-WX. Substance: 20 centimeters cube of wax. Seed pressed 5 centimeters into wax as it cooled. Result: tree easily mistaken for a natural plant at a distance, but subtle sheen and stiffness of leaves noticeable upon closer inspection, vulnerable to deformation at higher temperatures. Fruit: edible with a soft plum flavor, but no nutritional value. With wick inserted, fruit will burn for approximately 12 hours. Animalia test log. Note: all specimens in this category raised in isolated underground testing chambers at Sector Access restricted to Security Level 3. 1147-BL. Substance: 30 liters cow's blood. Result: bark is flaky with a dark color reminiscent of dried blood. Leaves are thin and translucent, featuring a web of red veins. Flowers are a dark crimson and emit a red mist once a day. Specimens should be tended and watered only by D-Class wearing environmental suits until the nature of researcher Parker's illness can be determined. Fruit resembles a regular plum with a nearly black skin and dark red juices. D968 and D2401 vomited and convulsed within 1 hour of ingesting an entire sample. Further testing suspended. 1147-BO. Substance: complete cow skeleton, ground into powder. Result: trunk is smooth and white with a core of marrow. Produces no leaves or flowers. Fruit: none. 1147-ME. Substance: ground beef. Result: bark resembles cow flesh, complete with thin layer of mottled hair covering striated muscle. Produces hair in place of leaves. Flowers bud as fleshy sacs before ripening into fruit. Scent is rotten and disorienting. Fruit: raw ingestion produced symptoms reminiscent of food poisoning. Cooked fruit more edible, but taste described as gross and wrong. 1147-BC. Substance: seed implanted under the forearm skin of restrained D-Class subject. Result: growth resembled an additional limb with roots entangled in the veins, nerves, and bones of the arm. D1052 reported no ill effects and responded to stimulus given to 1147-DC. After surgical removal, both specimen and D1052 expired on the operating table, autopsy pending. Fruit: all samples of 1147-DC-1 and 1147-DC-2 destroyed. Notes: further testing requires O5 approval. Dr. Laurel. 1147-BR. Substance: complete human brain from D1398. Result: bark is pale and membranous, with dark veins visible beneath the surface. Specimen responds to harmful stimulus by shifting away at a rate of 1 centimeter a minute. Leaves laced with a dense web of veins and nerves. Flowers resemble primitive sensory organs. Sensitivity tests going on. Fruit: upon attempted removal of fruit, agents and from MTF Theta 4 responded, and specimen now under control and observation, requesting all available records pertaining to D1398. Notes: further testing requires O5 approval. Not that it'll do researcher Paulson any good. I accept full responsibility for not taking his suspicions more seriously. Damn it. I went into botany to avoid this sort of thing. Dr. Laurel. Special containment procedures. All specimens of SCP-1147 are to be stored in separate planters in a 10 meter by 30 meter by 5 meter greenhouse located above ground on the premises of Sector 28. 3 liters of water should be added to each planter every 7 days. Any instances of -1 produced by the specimen should be stored in the opaque container next to each planter. Personnel working in greenhouse are to be screened upon exit to prevent accidental dispersal of -1. Following test 1147-DC, all handling of -1 must be done with approved tools. Testing the safety and edibility of any specimen of -2 is restricted to D-Class personnel. All tests must be approved by Dr. Laurel.